Hello everyone. EVN goes live, session 8. Wow. Can you believe it's been so many weeks of lockdown already? Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Without you guys, there would be no show. So thanks everyone for joining us. A few house rules as usual. You can put your cameras on, but please turn your microphones off. We have some amazing guest speakers today, and it's going to be a good session. I can feel it. I can feel it already. We have in the building, first of all, you guys, and I can see very familiar names in the room here, the participants list. Thank you once again, Yemi, for joining us from New York. We got Tombra, we got Shola Ade, of course. We got Ruth, we got Rohan, we got Nigel, who was our guest last week. We have Marsha Molyneux. We have who's actually a previous client of mine and now a wedding planner. We have Mr. Liam Clark. We have Kole, Khadija, Kemi, Karen, Joy Adenuga is one of our first guests on this show. Jennifer Patrice, thank you for tuning in once again. Harriet, Clara, Annette, Afolabi, Mr. A. who was also a previous guest. Thank you for joining us, because as I said before, if you guys weren't here, there'll be no audience and no show. So thank you. I was on an Instagram live last night and I was literally the only person watching. I see some of the lives are kind of struggling right now because there's just so many online sessions happening. We've never had a time like this before. And obviously, I know people are getting a bit bombarded with everything, but for some reason, you guys are joining us here again today, and we really appreciate that. So we have some very special guests who would no way be able to usually join us on a Saturday afternoon if it wasn't for a lockdown. And we have Miss Wura Manola from Manola Luxe Weddings and Events. We have Folly. I don't actually usually call him Folly, so I'm just going to call him his stage name, which is Folly Fresh, international MC. We have Ade from Godson Studio, and we have Mary from Event Decor. Can we get a round of applause for them all for joining us today? All right, so we're going to get each of, oh yeah, and I must say thank you to Joseph and Laura from the EVN leadership team, who's been with me every single week since we started this back in March. So can we get an introduction from each speaker? And we are going to start with Wura Manola, please. Can't hear you right now, Wura. I'm just gonna, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it asked me to get permission to mute myself.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Wura Manola, and I am the weddings director at Manola Luxe Events. So we're a luxury wedding planning and events company based in London. We specialize in UK and destination weddings as well. On top of that, I'm a wedding blogger. So from time to time, you might or might not have seen my face pop up on your screen. I do videos on YouTube where I give wedding planning advice and tips. I interview some of you vendors. Some of you have been on my YouTube channel. And I blog. I reach out to other higher blogs. I, guest write as well. Also, I am the founder of the Summer Bridal Brunch event, now known as the London Bridal Brunch events. It's an intimate event that brings brides and vendors together for the purpose of taking their wedding planning to the next level. And we've done it for three years now. With COVID, it's not going to, it's going to go ahead this year, but it'll probably be virtual. And last but not least, I'm a corporate events manager. So I work for a large conferences and events company based in London. And we work in the telecommunications space. We plan events and deliver events around the world. And well, some of the interesting places I've worked in is Bogota in Colombia, Puerto Rico in the Caribbean, Rio in Brazil, Kigali, Uganda. So done about 20 cities, 10 countries and counting. So, and I'm a new mom. I just gave birth 4 months ago. So that's me.
Wow, what a resume you got there, Wura. What a portfolio. That is very, very serious. Thank you for joining us today. And next, can we have Miss Mary Yemi, please? Okay, we're having a few issues with the unmuting. Can one of our,
Okay,
yeah.
I've got it. Yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Yemi. I run a company called Designer Chair Covers to Go, or Event Decor Hire. We've been decorating and styling weddings for the past 10 years. We are based in South London. We have a showroom. Clients come to see us, they book us, and we decorate really, really lovely weddings. I have a small video here, which you might have seen anyway on Instagram, but I'm going to play it for those who haven't seen it. I'm just going to share the screen.
Yes, please.
So hopefully this works. It's a bit of a plug. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it, yeah, and we can hear it. Talk us a little bit of through what's going on.
So this is the wedding of George Dixon that we did. Oh, sorry, let me just slow it down. So this was the wedding of George Dixon that we did at Hilton Bankside 2 years ago now. And it was quite a different, unique one that, you know, we loved. We worked alongside Crystal Olivier and obviously V&V Live. And this is another wedding that we did in Bournemouth, a complete different style type of wedding. It was really, really nice. And this was a Nigerian and Greek wedding. She had 3 different, oh, my internet. There we are. 3 different types of weddings that we had to get round to doing. And this one again in Floral Park. All at work. She says the dance floor. Dean's contribution, but yeah, it was a really lovely wedding, and we cover everything from the furniture to the centerpieces, the florals, the backdrops, and obviously now with Dean's side, all the dance floors and production. So it's a one-stop shop for everything that's pretty when it comes to a wedding, and that's me.
Lovely, jubbly. Thank you very much for that, Mary. Next, can we get Mr. Folly Fresh? Or maybe we're actually going to go for Ade first. Ade from Godson Studio. Can we get him first? And I think we got a little video for him while he speaks too. Godson, we can't hear you again, actually. You have to unmute.
Are we good now?
Yeah, go for it. Yes.
Hi, my name is Adebayo.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, go for it.
I'm the founder of Godson Studio. Hello. Hi, my name is Adebayo Yusuf. I'm the founder of Godson Studio. I'm a wedding photographer, and I really love my job. As you can see on the video showing, I bring the best out of my clients. I make sure my client is really happy, because it's not all clients that looks like, you know, what I wanted to say is like, some clients are not confident with their picture being taken. So I always bring them out of their shell. And what I do is a blessing. I know I've been blessed by God, so I give back to people. I bless people's with what God has given me by creating a very lovely, amazing images for them to keep in their house. I believe that is very important, because, you know, by the time my picture goes on each and every one of you guys' wall, that means I've made it in life. You know, my picture would be the one to summarize the whole, or your whole day. Like, you know, your cake would be dismantled, everything will be gone. So I will be the one to make sure I have amazing, you know, images of all these things that you literally paid for your big day. So that's me.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo from Godson Studio. Last but not least, can we get Mr. Folly Fresh MC, please?
Okay. Hey, hello everyone. I don't know if I'm waiting for a video to play or not. Maybe
Yes,
so.
yeah.
Okay, sweet. I don't know if you can hear it. I can't. Is there audio? Or is it just me? Is there audio coming through?
No, there's no audio coming through, but we can hear you though. So if you can just
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So as much as what you're currently seeing on your screen looks like I'm a professional dancer, I'm actually not a professional dancer. I am self-taught, and I I am. My name is Folly, but I'm commonly known as Folly Fresh. I'm an international master of ceremonies and presenter. Basically, what I do is I use the gift of speaking and of engaging people to create lifelong memorable experiences, especially on the wedding scene. I do service other industries, but obviously, seeing as we're here to speak on weddings, I try to create amazing experiences for particularly at receptions for brides and grooms and their families and their loved ones. Yeah, what else do I do? Oh, yeah, also, I am one of the co-proprietors of a games company called Fun Factor by Folly Fresh. And so we also use that to try and engage people throughout the course of their event or celebration. So we do giant games, we do interactive games, we do electronic games, retro games, etc. And just to try to add to that experience of a private or personal event. And then I also, I'm one of the directors on the Fresh Entertainment, and what we do is we provide other peripherals to add to people's experience, whether companies or couples, like for wedding days, so things like confetti machines to LED panel screens and all that other fun stuff. So that is who I am, but primarily I'm commonly known for being a master of ceremonies, international master of ceremonies. So I've worked on many, many amazing weddings, whether here in the UK, in the Middle East, Africa, Caribbean, and Northern America. I've not yet touched Asia, but one day God's going to do it. And that's who I am. It's lovely to be here, lovely to be speaking to you all.
Thank you very much for that, Folly. I realized when you first started speaking, you were a little bit low energy, a bit subdued, but as you were talking more about what you do, your energy started to raise, and I started to see more of a smile on your face. So I might as well start my first question for you. How are you keeping yourself happy and entertained during this time? Because obviously I know you to be a very sociable person, very entertaining. You like to be around other people. And obviously at this time you can't be. So what are you doing with yourself to keep yourself in the game and entertained right now?
I think, let me be honest with you, it's been a journey. And when I say it's been a journey, because we've been in lockdown for 8-9 weeks now. At first it was a massive shock to the system, and I didn't take it well at all. My family will tell you that I was just very, I won't say moaning, but I wasn't moaning at the fact that I was indoors. I was just moaning at the fact that I couldn't do what I loved doing. And then I ended up just not doing nothing. I'm not the type of person that would just do something for something's sake. So for about 2 or 3 weeks, I did nothing. I didn't post on social media. I had, my mind just went numb, because I just thought to myself, okay, how do I adapt to this so-called new reality? And then after a while, I'm a person of faith, and I just literally had to kind of remind myself that obviously the core essence of who I am, because of the type of business that I'm in and what I do is very much centered around who I am, my personality, my character, and what I bring to the table. Then I just remember that everything that I have, like I said, I truly and genuinely believe that I don't have it or do it on my own accord. It's definitely a divine gift, and it's definitely a blessing. Even the other things that I do aside from that. So, funnily enough, my background is in finance. So I've just been trying to look at how, the financial implications of things, etc., as well as how I've been directly impacted from the weddings and stuff. I mean, it began very real for me after I think it was a few days into lockdown, and then I had clients calling me. Literally, I had some days it was 10 clients, some days it was 5 clients just calling saying, I want to postpone, I want to cancel, I want to postpone. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And so that's when it was really real for me. And so just even dealing with that, coming on calls and just joining forums where you get knowledge, that was helpful, because like I said, I didn't really know how to move and how to go. Although I'm quite business savvy, it's just that you want to make the right decisions, and sometimes you don't have all the knowledge or all the pieces of the puzzle to put together and make an informed decision. So I was really I was coming on to the lives. Obviously, I've been on the lives with the EVN has put on. I've been on other platforms, just learning and listening, and just put myself in a space where I can learn but also faith-wise, just been trying to reaffirm my faith, because this has been an opportunity for me to try and reaffirm my faith, and then just get that joy back from just knowing that, in whether I'm doing what I'm doing or not, I still have life, I still have, just kind of getting gratitude from the small things. And that then gave me the enablement to kind of be like, okay, Follow, you need to do something. You need to try and put your talent to use, try to reach out to people, connect with people. So speaking with friends, and then and that's thought to myself, okay, how can I use this gift? Although I'm not in front of people, I want to be able to continue using this gift. And then I just thought about literally reaching out to my family. Unfortunately, I have a family of siblings who are quite entrepreneurial as well, and so I started live chats with Fresh on Instagram. And so then I started speaking with family, speaking with friends, and then speaking with people who I just my network and my resources, and people who are also interested in using their voice. And so whether it be in finance, whether it be in tech, whether it be in the wedding industry, whether it be in beauty, whether it be in property, whether it be whatever it was, and I just felt like I was just using the gift that way. And people are literally like, okay, when's the next episode? When's the next session coming on? And that's how I kind of kept things going.
Yes,
and
sir.
then,
what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to wrap the answer up just there.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, yeah, it was a journey, a transition.
Yeah, I know. Obviously,
so,
as an MC, I know you're very, very good at.
I just thought you were focusing on me for now, so that's why I was laughing it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna keep it moving to the next session, because obviously we've got 4 panelists. Time's going. So, but thank you very much for that answer. We'll be back to you very soon. But Wura, I would like to speak to you next, because you're someone that's been obviously very, 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 you've kind of put yourself into different spaces in the events industry as a blogger, vlogger, wedding planner. You do corporate events, all this kind of stuff. First of all, explain what a bridal influencer is, because I don't really think I've heard that term before. And next, tell us what you think your predictions are in terms of what the industry is going to be doing next, or what we should be doing next.
Well, an influencer is anyone who is, I don't like to use the word expert but anyone who's an expert in the field that influences. And the term bridal influencer, to be honest, was something that came upon everything I was doing after my wedding. After being 7 years in the industry, I noticed that brides kept reaching out to me for vendor recommendations. They're like, oh, use Adebayo for your wedding, can I use him? Or use this person, can I use him? Or if they see me with a vendor, or carousels on your video, can we use them? I was like, okay, this is something. And one videographer reached out to me saying, oh, thank you so much. Through your YouTube video, someone actually booked me. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. And the venue in Italy reached out to me saying, oh, we have 2 properties in the south of Italy. We want to, market this, So I think from there I realized, okay, this is more than just being a wedding blogger, and, this is more of actual impacting brides. So I had to do research to make sure I was calling myself the right thing. I actually call myself a wedding influencer / bridal influencer, so that if a bride is looking at my page, they know that they can get all the research and all the details they need from me. And I'm someone who's trustworthy. Now, if you're not a bride and you're a vendor or a venue and you come to my page and you see wedding influencer, then you know that, okay, I cover the industry as well. So it's a wedding / bridal influencer. I hope that answers your question. So someone in an expert field, in this case, weddings or all things bridals, who can influence, obviously, decision-making of brides or vendors alike.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what decisions are you influencing your brides to make right now then?
I think right now I'm really focusing on the future of weddings, focusing on keeping couples at ease. I think this period as well was, I'm trying my best to be careful what I say because things change. Like I did a YouTube video on how to postpone your wedding. I had to do it 3 times because the space of when I did it, there was lockdown and different things happened. I even reached out to one of our dear colleagues, Shay Love Weddings. I was like, I'm putting out this video. I'm saying these things in this video, you know, like, what do you think? You know, so I reach out to people to make sure I'm putting out the right thing. And I have to be careful what I'm saying because obviously with coronavirus is very sensitive. Only experts are speaking at the moment and you have to be careful what you're saying. So what I'm doing at the moment to answer your question is I'm focusing on helping couples with information. So for example, yesterday I posted that Sri Lanka has lifted a ban on weddings. My lovely husband put and sent that to me via WhatsApp. So it's just getting on things like that and then saying, okay, what is it going to look like for us in the UK? Sri Lanka only has 9 deaths. In the UK, we have 30-something thousand. So you lifting a ban and allowing 100 guests is not going to be the case in the UK. You know, we're going to take baby steps. Also putting the brides at ease, you know, so every Wednesday I have #Wedding Wednesday where I give free information to help brides and couples get ready for their wedding. So again, with the Wedding Wednesday, I turned it rather than what are your wedding questions, what are your wedding issues, what are your wedding concerns? And if any bride DMs me, like some brides DM me, unfortunately they've obviously postponed their wedding or some have canceled their wedding. There was someone who actually bought food and drinks and everything so devastating in March and had to cancel a wedding. So it's obviously been a shoulder to cry on, if that makes sense, virtually, someone to talk to, you know. And I think what makes me stand out as well as being a vendor, I think what makes my voice more trustworthy is that I always highlight my wedding, even if it's coming to 5 years, I always highlight my wedding to bride just to let them know that this is someone who's been in your shoes. So everything you're feeling, I'm feeling, you know, so that's why I go back to the bride that I've been a bride as well. So I hope that's answered your question. And another thing, I just did a giveaway with Ribbons and Bow Store. I collaborated with her to give a bride that's been, you know, affected by COVID a box just to put a smile on her face. So yeah, those just things that I've been doing. Did you ask about predictions?
Yes, I did.
With some predictions that I've been hearing, again, is intimate weddings. So when I'm talking about, I'm just going to talk about UK and Nigeria because those are the 2 markets that I really focus on, UK, Nigeria, and sometimes USA. But intimate weddings, so looking at, for example, when the ban is lifted, is it going to be 3 first and then 10 people? How does that look like? And then in Nigeria, is it going to be, I know Funke Bucknell has done a wedding of 20 people already, I think last week. So what is that going to look like? Again, food, how are you going to serve food in reception? Is it going to be a buffet? Some people in the industry, experts are saying it's probably not going to be buffet serving. It's probably going to be seated food. Another expert, I know Matty said this as well on one of his sessions, and another expert in UAE said that the seating arrangements, for example, some venues are saying 5 or 6 on a table, really, you know, distance apart. No one's going to be like crammed together. Interestingly, another expert said that, you know, are we going to even have weddings indoors? You know, for places that can have wedding outdoor, you know, some brides and couples are looking like, okay, you know what, rather than being rammed indoors, coronavirus, a mask and everything, let's take the wedding outdoors. So yeah, some vendors in the UAE are looking at that as well, like outdoor weddings. So those are kind of like predictions that I've seen, you know, in the industry.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Wura. And talking about small weddings happening, I must go to Mary now because obviously we have been locked down. There haven't been any events going on, but obviously I know a lot about what Mary gets up to. And well, for those that don't know, she is my fiance. Mary, you're actually doing an event this Monday. So tell me, like, according to me anyway, I feel like this is one of the first ones that's happened amongst our network. I don't really know anyone else that's really done any events at all, but you're actually doing a wedding in at someone's house or back garden, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us about that process. How did the inquiry go, and what was your reaction to it? and why did you decide to do it?
Okay, so when lockdown started, I was like, no events, we can't, you know, because you have to be on lockdown. But that 1 week turned into 2 weeks, turned into 4 weeks, turned into 6 weeks. So my opinion slowly started to change as a lot of our weddings got pushed back. And I would say maybe the end of April, I got this inquiry through, and she says she's having a small wedding at her home. And so I thought, okay, well, let's see what happens. So we went through the whole booking process as normal. And basically she's having
like,
about...
give me the money.
If I'm honest, yes, there's bills that, as everyone knows, there's bills that have to be paid. And we've cut back where we can, because I do have 3 warehouses, and I've had to cut back where I can on all of them. But, you know, if I can get the booking in, I'm going to go for it. So she's basically gone for full decor in her home, and for 30 people. And I am a bit concerned, a bit nervous on Monday what's going to happen. I mean, today I was loading up the van as back to normal, you know, but we're going to go. My team has shrunk down for this particular event. We've told them to stay inside when we come. She's got a planner, she's got a makeup artist, she's got her dress, you know, she's going for full decor. So it's a proper wedding, only for 30 people. And, you know, it's going to be really, really nice. And I think for this particular wedding, I will vlog it or whatever, so that you can see what does happen and how it transpires. But we're literally just going to load in, set everything up as normal, sort of keep 2 meters away from everybody, wear our masks, and hope for the best, you know. And then we're going to go back, as always, to collect once it's all done. That's literally it. We just got to make sure we stay away from 2 meters away from people whilst we're setting up. The advantage of what we do is obviously it's not when the mass of everyone is around, so we can get in early and then get out before everyone turns up. So we do have that advantage. But it's the first one that we're doing, and we have been getting quite a few inquiries for people doing smaller events at home. And we're just sort of trying to work out our pricing point to make it work, that we can deliver small events at people's homes whilst remaining safe and, you know, maintaining the company. So you'll see. Watch this space, I'd say. Watch this space. We'll see how it goes.
Rusty? Are you feeling rusty after all this time off?
My knees were creaking today on the on the tail lift of the van. I thought, oh, it's been a while since I've loaded the van, I will admit. But no, I'm excited. You know, I felt, oh yeah, we're back to weddings again. You know, it's been a bit of a break, and it's been much needed, because obviously we were meant to get married. That was now on pause, but you know, it's a much needed break to, you know, regather, restructure, and to, you know, get ready for when it does come back, because we've had, I think it's about 30 weddings postponed till next year now and counting, and that's until August. Come August, if they start calling again to push back, next year's going to be busy. So yeah.
Yes, Marsh, in the comments, Marsha says, don't be nervous, Mary. Micro weddings at home are lovely. So she's basically saying good luck. And we all wish you well. Hope it goes well this Monday.
I just hope the police
hope you don't bring...
Someone might grass. No, I'm joking. It should be fine.
I hope you don't bring the corona.
What was that?
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna go to... Now I'm gonna go to Ade now. I'm gonna go to Adebayo from Godson Studio, because you know, Mary just said she's had 30 weddings postponed until next year, and Ade is probably one of the most entrepreneurial photographers I've ever met. Sometimes when I call him, he's like, yeah, Dean, I'm just doing 150 weddings today, and I've got another 200 next week. Like, this guy, he literally came into the game strong. He didn't come to play. Like, he takes on multiple weddings in a day. He goes to one, he's got like an agency of other photographers he sends out to cover other weddings and get them all shot to the same quality. And all of that must have disappeared for you, Ade. So how has that been for you? How many weddings are you postponing until 2021? And what else have you been doing with your time to keep yourself busy? Because I know you don't like to sit down and kind of be quiet.
Thank you very much, Dean. And I wasn't expecting the whole pandemic things, but when it first happened I was kind of sick for 4 days, and my wife was like, "Is everything okay with you? Is it COVID?" I said, "No, I just need to reset." And I would say since then, I've literally learned a lot about life, about business, about how to just encourage yourself. Because if you're not thinking straight, there is no way you will bring food to the family. You have to be mentally strong. You have to know, what to do, regardless of things going on around the whole world. I've managed to push the Lord wedding to next year. Thank God for that. And I've managed to raise some team that I'll be working with in case we have double booking or triple booking. We've been working alongside with each other. I train them, how I want my work to be done. So in this period of COVID-19, I've managed to open a few businesses, and my network has really grown because I know everyone is in shock of what happened. And I know that is when people like to talk business because they're thinking, damn, when this whole thing finishes, what am I going to do? How am I going to start again? So I started emailing hotels in around the world where I've been to before, tried to collab with them. I've tried to reach out to a few people that I've met through my journey because I love traveling. I do a lot of weddings in abroad as well. And I came up with a research mobile studio, and I found out there's nothing out there, no mobile studio. And a lot of people, like I said, they like picture, but they're not confident taking pictures in the park, taking picture outside their home. So I've managed to get a van. I got everything that will required me if I go to their house to take that picture. And I'll tell you a lie. I, I still make money by going to people's houses, wearing masks. I have my long nails because I've got a little one that I need to protect from COVID and I need to feed at the same time. So I still try to do birthday shoots. I go there, set up, stay on the phone, tell tell the clients what to do, take their picture. I've literally gone around London, took all the pictures that I know we're not going to again because nobody praying for COVID again. So I've taken a lot of landscape pictures all around London, and I've seized that opportunity to find out good location for my bride and groom when I'm doing their pre-wedding pictures. So this period has taught me a lot of lessons that no matter the situation, you need to stay strong, stay fit, keep on going. By the time you start worrying about the whole thing, you're not gonna move on. And I'm ready, and I'm still getting bookings because I'm always like, out there. I want people to see that, you cannot just stay at home because you're not making money now. You can still make money by doing other things. I still do, shoots, and I still try to, look after people. And I have few people that cancel their weddings, and I told them that I'm not going to give you your refund, but you can make use of your money in it later in the future if you want to do something, because I know this is not going to be end of your life. You're still going to get married. You're still going to have babies. You'll still be happy. You're still going to do birthday shoot, birthday. So, and your friends and family, you can use the voucher for them. So this period, I've literally built another lion in the industry.
Yes. Now, with Ade, I think probably the first week of lockdown, I already saw him posting about his mobile studio. Like, this guy, he seriously, you don't mess around. Like, you're very entrepreneurial. You pivoted quickly, and as we can see, you managed to get quite a bit of business. If anyone here is interested in Ade's services, please let us know in the comments, and Joseph or Laura soon will share all of our speakers social media handles in the comments also. All right, so I want to go back to Wura because Ade was just basically saying, he's switched his business around, and he still managed to get some money in, and he basically pivoted. He's adjusted to this season, and he's still kind of making money. But I know your content Wura, is mainly towards brides. You keep kind of putting out content to brides about what they should do during this time, about postponing, how to keep their mental health healthy, I guess, and how to keep themselves happy and well during this time. So what are the tips that you're giving to brides right now, or to couples? And also, yeah, so that first, what are the tips you're giving to brides right now?
So in the sense of staying sane during this period, or their wedding planning, in what retrospect?
Yeah. So how to kind of stay sane during this time, how to stay happy in love and in a relationship, and obviously prepare for their upcoming wedding, which has now been postponed.
So one of the first things that I always point out, and I'm a big believer in this, is, well, first of all, you have to have perspective. There's so much more that's happening, and that's not to say your feelings aren't valid, but I just tell them that there's so much more that is happening. You know, people are losing loved ones, people are in the hospital, you know, so much more is happening. The only thing you've had to move is a wedding. It's an unfortunate situation, but you're alive and you're healthy. So that's the first thing that I actually put out there, like, have perspective. Secondly is to be positive, you know, try and stay positive. I know it's so hard in this pandemic, especially when you're locked down, but do things that you love. One thing I am always mindful about when I advise brides is, I realize that, like, some of my brides, actually, yeah, two of my brides are not with their partners. You know, they're staying away. And I've got a bride that obviously lives with her partner, and then I've got some brides, you know, virtually, that live with their partners or live with a, you know, boyfriend or fiance. So I'm always mindful about that, because someone who's waiting, who's already living with a partner, is different from someone who can't even see that fiance. So I think for me, it's staying positive. The ones that are living with their partners obviously have date night, you know. I know someone I follow on Instagram that once a week she puts on makeup, goes into the living room, dresses nice, just so to keep it going. And, you know, my bride, who unfortunately hasn't seen her, you know, her fiance in about since lockdown, is, you know, talking to him, you know, FaceTime as much as you can. And again, still have that date night, put on makeup, have, you know, talk to them and keep that going. Also is, you know, staying flexible, I think, is super important, because I have a friend who's a nurse on the front line. And whenever I'm advising brides online, she jumps into my DM. So the last time she jumped into my DM, I told the bride was like, oh, I have a wedding in August. I don't know if I should postpone. And what I always say for weddings that are not immediately, like, you know, June and July, is, you know, try and wait for more information, but have a backup, like start having backup dates and reaching out to your vendors, right? And she literally jumped to my DM, my nurse friend, and she's like, if they don't want heartbreak twice, I tell them to postpone to 2020. She was like, because there's going to be, and again, don't quote me on this, but she's like, when you release lockdown, there's going to be, just like the Spanish flu in 1920, she's like, there's going to be waves of this virus, you know. Once lockdown is lifted and everyone goes back to normal, there might be another wave, there might be another lockdown, there might be another ban on weddings. So she's like, just to, you know, let them postpone to next year. But for me, how I turned it around is be flexible. You know, more information is going to be released by the government. As Mary is, you know, about to have someone who's getting married, you know, in their home. That is something that obviously some people have not fathomed, especially in Nigeria. We love to party. And Mary, I'm a bit skeptical about that party. 50 or 100 people going to show up to that person's house. So it's like, you have to be flexible, because in this day and age, you know, people are getting married with masks. People is only 10 people. It might be 3 people. It might be 30 people. And obviously people have elderly, you know, members of their guests. I have a 4-month-old baby, and I'm still planning weddings, and I'm a maid of honor for a wedding coming up. So I'm thinking about, so it's like, you have to stay positive, you have to stay flexible, because you don't know, I mean, you can only wait and see what's going to happen. You don't know exactly how your wedding is going to look like, as you would have known pre-COVID. So, and again, keep doing things that make you happy. We say something in our Nigerian that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Like, when you're not doing anything, that's when everything starts to creep in, you know? So you need to keep yourself busy. You know, luckily all my brides work. I have a nurse bride, a doctor bride who works, another one who's a lawyer, and another one who's a nurse as well. So they're working and they're keeping themselves busy. So that's good. I don't have anyone who's just like staying at home doing nothing, because that's when it starts creeping in and you're worried and you don't know if you're going to get married. So yeah, flexibility, perspective, stay positive, stay busy.
Yes, lovely. Thank you very much, Wura. Next, I want to go to Mary and then Folly. I think a lot of people are interested in this wedding that you got going on Monday, Mary. You're probably going to get a few DMs after for people asking you if they've got a photographer yet, if they've got a videographer, if they've got a celebrant. Like, people are going to try and get in there, I think, because this is really like a wow. Like, I don't know, in the comments, please, someone let me know if they've heard of any other weddings happening during this time, like for physically anyway, and not just on Zoom. But this is literally one of the first I've heard of. This is really interesting. So Kashi from Eden Event Design wants to know, it's out of interest, how big is this client's garden, and how has she decided to seat the guests? I don't know if you know this, but do you know if there's any kind of social distancing in place at this party? Sorry, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. You're on. Yeah.
Now, so initially, it was for about 50 guests, and over the time, in the course of the announcements going out, she's reduced it down to about 30 now. And instead of, was going to go full in with a whole, like a table long landscape design type thing, but she's now a bit more cautious, as I was, and she's going to go for more of a buffet style. So we're just going to decorate a nice buffet station, and her guests will come up and get there. It's a barbecue as well, so hopefully it's sunny on Monday. That's another thing. But it's outside. It's going to be, you know, in a big garden. She has got quite a large garden, so she was concerned that, you know, she didn't want it to be all very tight in one little point in the garden. So they're going to have enough space. I know the planner has thought about signs and things that go around to tell people, you know, stay away from one another and things like that. But, you know, I think everyone that attends the wedding are going to be quite aware that, you know, this is like the first gathering that they would have probably been to since the lockdown. So they're going to be aware, they're going to be conscious that, you know, you can't really gather and huddle and get really close. You can probably stay in your family units. So that's how I feel she's working with it. And, you know, I spoke to the planner and she said, you know, we're going to just try our best. In terms of our team, we're going to come in early, set everything up and leave before everyone else comes. So it should be fine for us. And it should be fine for them as well, I hope. That's
and do you, thanks for that. Do you know if there are any openings for vendors? Like, if someone
she was looking for someone that supplies outdoor heaters.
Outdoor heaters.
Don't know if that's anyone here, but outdoor heaters she was asking
people
for.
Might be offering up to 50% commission to try.
I'll ask her if she needs anything else.
Yes, please do. All right, so Folly Fresh. Mr. Oh, she might need someone that does some games. That's what Folly does.
That's the point, because she has got a lot of space. So I've got your details now. I'll send her an email and see if she needs anything. It's in Dartford.
Trying to give people business right here live on this call. So, Mr. Fresh, you're obviously someone who's been around many weddings. You've obviously, you know, as you said, you traveled around the world. You've done London. You've done. You say you've done Africa. You want to go to Asia one day. From what you're from what you're reading, in terms of, or what you're seeing in terms of when events are coming back, what are you advising your clients to still plan any events for 2020, or you're pushing them back to 2021? Would you be available to do any small gatherings of like 10, 20, 30 people, or do you just want to say forget that and I just want to wait until the big ones come back?
That's a fully loaded question, and it has many facets to it, so I want to try and tackle each side. But firstly, thank you very much, Mary. I'll be waiting for your communication. Thanks for being a plug. But no, to answer your question, Dean, I have really, I guess with what I do, as with most of us, but I guess with what I do, I have to really build an interpersonal relationship with my clients, just for the sake of the fact that I believe what I'm doing is I'm taking on their vision for the day. So, you know, whether it's understanding them, understanding what they like, what the journey has been, etc. So I feel like my role is very intricate into their day. And so when I've been speaking to couples, I have, especially, to be honest with you guys, if I tell you that I've had less than 40, 50 reschedules, less. If I tell you I've had less, I'd be lying. Like, literally, they just keep coming in. In fact, I had 2 this morning by email, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. But what I have been doing is understanding what our current situation is, and then just trying to give a realistic perspective, because things are not certain, but we do understand that based on the information that's been given, especially within the UK, is that anything over 100 people at the moment is looking very unlikely for the next few months. And I don't just mean like, obviously, with the whole government announcing that they will review things, especially in the hospitality and entertainment industry, and for social gatherings, whether it's sports, whatever, all across that kind of sphere, is that, I know they want to review things, but it's not likely to be that easy over the next few months. I've even had some couples tell me that their venues are saying they're not opening for business, even if the government do announce things until like August. And these are some prime central London locations. They're saying that, well, from August onwards, we're giving you dates, because even for rescheduling, they've only been granted dates from August onwards. So I feel like some businesses have tried to take the prudent approach. And I feel like, for me personally, being in a position where if brides do come to me and say, oh, we're thinking of this and blah, blah, yes, I'm going to use my opportunity to advise them, or just give them a better perspective of things. And so I've said to people that, you know what, if you're aiming for 2020, I feel like just try having your mind that this thing is very, very serious. And of course, as we have not been able to see a roadmap for what the foreseeable future looks like, plan towards like the back end of the year or to 2021. That's been my advice. But at the same time, I've said I'm not a professional, so the decisions are going to ultimately be yours. And there's other things that come into play, because some people say, "Oh, my family's not based in England; they don't feel comfortable traveling in this year," blah blah. And I've had that from a few people. I've got family based in Africa, or, Latin America, or Europe, or wherever, and they're like they just don't feel comfortable. My parents are falling to the elderly category, and they're more at more risk. So so with my advice, I've just been like, look, consider all your options and consider what's the most important for you, your safety of your family, and safety of your friends. And if you feel that that's that would be a compromise, and especially if you don't want it to, because nobody wants to compromise themselves or their family or friends, then I'm just like, just make the best decision to see things in a foreseeable. Like I said, I come from a finance background, so it's important when things aren't certain to be quite prudent. Yes, sometimes it's worth taking a risk because you get a better reward, but in this case, there's no need to take any risks. Just be quite as prudent as you can, and consider yourself as well as your loved ones. In terms of the second part to the question, in terms of doing small events, like I've done a few Zoom birthdays, I've done a few. What people are doing is they're doing events to commemorate or mark what would have been the actual wedding day. And, either off their own back, or wedding planners have said, can we just throw a little something here and there, or, just to kind of, uplift their spirits and just kind of keep them encouraged and motivated. Some people have actually put it on off their own back and said, okay, look, we want the bridal team, are very close, very, very close there, and near and dear friends and family to, to whatever. Okay, how much extra would it be to charge you for like 3 hours of your time? And obviously sometimes you're like, oh, do you know what? We can work out a deal. Or sometimes it's like, do you know what? Because you guys have been amazing throughout the whole process, kept me well informed, and, have really carried me on. I might just throw in a favor for you, So that kind of thing. So I've been doing a lot. Even yesterday, I did a Zoom birthday party. I've done, Yeah, baby showers are coming up, all that kind of stuff. And people are still asking like for the service. So I feel like, where you can, provide that service. But I do believe that if people called me to do like a much more intimate event, like a 15-20 people event, whether it's a birthday or other type of event, then I think if the necessary safety measures, for me, I feel like it's important for me. I don't want to pass anything on to my family. I don't know what other people have as well. So I'd want to take the necessary safety measures for myself. And I hope that they would have considered, if they're communicating to me that they've taken the necessary safety precautions and measures, then yeah, I'll be more than happy to try and provide my service. But it's all a bit up in the air, but I'm just trying to tell people to just make the most what's the word, prudent decision for you and your family as possible.
Thank you, Folly. I'm gonna have to get you back on here just like by yourself.
I'm just trying to give you a detailed answer. I can see your face is trying to crack. Listen, Dean, stop being cheeky, all right? I'm trying to sum it up as quickly as I can for you, but try and be sensible at the same time, okay? Okay.
I'm gonna need to invite you back, just you by yourself.
Nah, Dean, you're actually looking for trouble. I'm gonna get you. Anyway, I'm done. microphone drop, TED Talk done, whatever.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I haven't laughed so much like this.
See? Thank God. That's why you got me on. Thank God, innit? All right, sorry.
Oh, my days. Okay. All right. I need to get some tissue to wipe away the tears. All right. So I got a question for Ade here. Someone wanted to ask. Let me just find it. Sorry. So Joy Isaacs wanted to ask you, Ade. She put it in the comments. How did Ade negotiate with his clients to postpone until next year? And obviously, we've spoken about this a few times on here, but how are you juggling, I guess, postponing clients to new dates, as well as having clients maybe in those dates already, and also, I guess, organizing it with the other vendors, with the planner, with the caterer, with the venue? Like, how is that all working out for you?
To be honest with you, I think I'm a son of God. God has been really helping me. I really don't have issue with that. And it's so funny, like all the dates they've tried to postpone their wedding to, like it's free. And I've got only two that I've got, like, you know, 2 weddings on the day. And I told them that I'm not gonna be able to come and shoot your wedding, but I can guarantee you that your wedding pictures will be 10 out of 10 with included the customer service. Remember, it's a big company. I'm not ready to, because what you're paying me is not going to jeopardize, you know, like, because I want your money. I still have to deliver amazing quality job for you. So all the wedding that I've got like double bookings for next year, I've managed to tell them, like, it's like you going to Tesco in Manchester. It's the same product they're going to have in London here. So I always let my clients know that because I've put my face to the business, that doesn't mean I don't have other people that work for me. I will be the one to edit the picture, and I've guaranteed them sending out a good, amazing, you know, 10 out of 10 photographer that's going to capture the whole day the way I do my stuff. So they're all happy about that, to be honest with you.
But isn't that, like, with photography, similar to DJing and even MCing and other kind of quite personal services, how have you managed to really convince someone that someone else that's going to show up on their wedding day of all days is going to be equal to what you can offer? Like, you know, people aren't usually that trusting. They kind of want the person that they've met and that they know.
That is a very good question, Dean. So basically, before I chip in anything for them, like a voucher, like free pre-wedding pictures, or, you know, whatever you want to do, I'll be there. And okay, firstly, I will chip in, like, don't worry about your day. You don't have to pay for your pre-wedding picture. The person that will shoot your wedding will come and do the same pre-wedding picture. Take your picture alongside with me so that you will meet the person. The person is not going to come as a stranger on your big day. So when I chip that in, and it's a service of £450, people always jump on it. Like, okay. Hello? Okay, people always jump on it.
I'm still here and listening. We're all here. Go for it.
And the second thing that I do, I've literally managed to train these people to have the same quality of picture that I have on my Instagram, and that they should have it on their Instagram page and their website. So I showed the clients their website and Instagram, and their Instagram. When they say yes to it, and we're happy to go. Because remember, we're in the sticky situation that, you know, whatever you take clients now, they have to take it. Like, there is no everything. If our prime minister say, don't go out, go out, don't go to work, go to work, you know, you can't just say anything. You don't understand? So we are all in the same boat together. When you tell them A, they will believe the A right now. I'm telling you.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. I hope that answered Joy's question about how you're getting clients to postpone, and also trusting your brand, which is obviously very respected in the industry. So I would like to go to Mary next. We have more people in the comments. We got Charles, for example, saying she must need security to manage social distancing at this event. someone else is offering their services. Oh, Yumi wants to ask as well, a question for Mary. How many guests will be seated at each table? Obviously, everyone's finding this very interesting, Mary. I am going to let you answer that question, and then I'm going to ask you another question just so you're not so focused on this one event. But so Yumi wants to know, do you know how many guests will be seated at each table? I'm going to unmute you now.
Okay, thank you. So it's no longer going to be a seated meal. I think people are just going to have their chairs and sort of sit in like pockets around the garden, and it's just going to be a buffet. So that's what she sort of created to make it a bit more socially acceptable and in line with the COVID-19 rules. But, you know, I think I have a feeling that naturally people will group and talk together, but there's not so much you can do. But it's a barbecue anyway, so it's quite a relaxed thing. The ceremony will be in her garden, and that's going to be quite formalized with an aisle and everything like that. But it's just the seating and the food afterwards that's going to be a bit more of a free seating, not like sat next to one another, to help with the social distancing. So,
Okay,
yeah.
good stuff. I'm sure you're going to want to hang around that one, maybe just at the bottom of the garden or something.
Just to get footed.
Yeah.
No.
So a question I want to ask you is obviously like a lot of us in this industry are kind of like sole traders, one-man bands. We are a lot of us just run small companies, either it's just us or maybe an assistant, work from home, that kind of thing. Obviously, you're in a position where you've got office. You say you've got 3 warehouses, you've got staff, and all of that. Like you've got quite a big operation set up. How have you dealt with obviously paying the bills during this time? How have you dealt with your staff, and have you found any other ways to make some income using the products you've already got?
Okay, so my staff, they luckily, I was concerned before the government, that Sunak guy came out with the whole furlough scheme. I was concerned about that before, but luckily there is that. So they are getting 80% of their wages paid. So that's okay. And that's now until October, I think he said. But, you know, the inquiries are coming back in still. So people do need answering. And, you know, obviously things are going out for this wedding and things are going to start coming back in. So I am thinking soon to start taking a few people off of furlough so that we can start getting the warehouse back in order. In terms of over the past 8 weeks, I had to just cut all the costs. So with one of the warehouses, I've been able to speak to that particular landlord and negotiate and basically get 50% off for my rent. Another one, I've basically, you know, for my main warehouse, I've had to close all the collections. I've turned off all the boilers. Literally, I've turned off everything. I've cut everything down that I could, just because all the little incremental amounts, it all adds up at the end of the month. And then, you know, you're looking at $1,000 easily. So I've had to cut back where I can. We've got a few vans and I've taken one of them off the road and luckily cancelled one of the insurance. So it's only fire and theft protection rather than whole all encompassing
comprehensive right now. No.
Yeah, so that's helped. And anything else? Those are the main big things I've had to do. And my business rates, I've spoken to basically I just didn't pay the bill. I've just not paid the bill for that one. And I think a lot of people that do have business rates have followed suit because there's no business. How can we be paying business rates for that? So that's been also what I've done. And you know, we are registered for VAT, so I've also said I'm not going to pay that for now, and just taking it on the chin and see what happens, you know. But I think it should be fine. I think the government understands that it's very difficult for businesses at the moment, so you know they've not said anything against it. They can't, and ultimately I am going to go for the bounce back loan because I think it is a useful tool and it's quite a cheap loan. And you know, it's just going to be there in the background just in case reasons. So financially, that's what I've done. I've sort of gone through all the options and the resources that the government has provided, and I'm using them.
Yes, the government may understand, but then the Department of Transport has made congestion charge 7 days a week.
and increase the pricing.
I think
So
24 hours a day, and well, maybe not 24 hours a day, but it's now
24 for the vans. Yeah, it's 24. So that is one cost that will be forwarded on to all of our clients for 2021, because the bills, it just keeps going up for everything.
Of course.
As well as the minimum wage too. I don't know if anyone knows that. That's gone up. Yeah.
But just before I move on to Wura, back to your event on Monday, A. Dot has said, Mary, do they need an MC? Because I'm available. Oh, and that, you know that O is the Nigerian O. I wish I could do that accent.
Literally, after this, I will message her and I'll ask her, is there any other supplies that you need? And anyone, if I can get a sale for anyone, I will try and do that for anyone that needs it. Okay?
Mary, your phone is about to blow up, because we're going to get so many calls, because people are going to be interested. Maybe people might even want to come and carry the boxes. So next to Wura. Thank you very much for that, Mary. Earlier on, Folly said that he has done entertaining or MCing on Zoom. Have you had any inquiries to do Zoom weddings, and has any of your weddings even turned to a Zoom wedding yet? And what are you saying to people that want to do a Zoom wedding? Because as much as we laugh and joke about it, some people really just want to get married on a specific date because of that date being significant to them. Maybe a family member is ill and may not see 2021. So they actually want to get married this year and, you know, have them witness it on Zoom or another online platform. What are you saying to the people that are going down that line of thought? Because obviously they could save 10, 20, 30 grand even as well just by doing it online too. That's not going to be good for us, but it will be good for them. So what are you saying to clients that's going down that kind of train of thought?
Well, first of all, no, I haven't had any of my couples wanting to do a Zoom wedding. I hope not, because I'll be having to look into, you know, my pricing and everything. I don't want to go down that route. And luckily for me, my couples are not thinking of Zoom weddings. I think we're looking at just abiding by, you know, what the government is saying, where the destination wedding is, and here as well. So luckily no one has gone down that route. I've not had that discussion yet. It's funny she say that because I'm about to put out a video on Zoom weddings, which I hope will not backfire on me. But as I said, as a blog, I have a responsibility to obviously educate couples. And I think you just touched the nail on the head with Zoom weddings. Zoom, it's a personal decision to have a Zoom wedding or to wait. People who want to have Zoom weddings say, okay, you know what? I actually want to get married now. I can have the party later, or I want to get married now. I don't need a party, you know, and I'm going to do a Zoom wedding. And as you said, some people have family members that are sick. Some people have family members that, you know, they don't know if they're going to make it. One thing I would advise with Zoom weddings, well, you see my video as well, but I've not advised any brides at the moment with Zoom weddings. I'm literally just featuring them. But one thing I advise is, first of all, make sure it's legal, because from research, I know it's only legal in some parts of the US. I don't think it's legal here. So make sure it's legal, first of all, before you go down that route. Get a planner, because the last thing you want to do is come on a Zoom call and you don't have anyone who's coordinating. You might think you don't have a planner, but coordinating the whole thing, you know, people might have technical questions. The last thing you want to do is, you know, I'm saying, like, have someone answer all of that. So have like your planner, have someone to coordinate the whole Zoom call. Don't think you can do that by yourself. Keep informed as well. Keep your guest informed as well, that you're going to have a Zoom call and you have a party later. I keep saying that because I feel like that's what you should do. I'm biased because I had my wedding, I had my party, it was the most beautiful. And it's bittersweet because when I'm talking to a bride at the moment in Florida who came on my live, and she's not waiting for a Zoom. You know, every time I bring up Zoom, her planner is like, no Zoom. You know, she's like, no Zoom, I want to get married. And she's like, look, I've been waiting for this day for my whole life. She's already postponed her wedding twice because of what has happened in the Caribbean. So I think, yeah, with Zoom, it's a personal decision. And I'm just advising people to obviously look into it. If it's legal, then go ahead. Please have the party later so your vendors can still, you know, have a job at the end of the day. Or if you lose, depending on contracts, if you lose deposit, it's not in vain. You can still have the party later. So as a personal decision, if you go ahead with Zoom, decide to have the party later so you can still have your family and friends. It's an experience that you would want to witness. Like every time I think about my wedding, I wouldn't think of having a Zoom wedding. But it is what it is, a personal decision, and some people would go for Zoom.
Yes, no, thank you. That's really good advice, Wura. Hopefully when you release that video, it doesn't send a lot more people down that route, because they're like, oh, the wedding influencer, the bridal influencer told us to do it.
No, see, but the thing is, Dean, it's at the end of the day, you'll be surprised. All the brides in the comments, they still want, especially our African brides, they still want to get married. Even my bride last year, I was like, okay, you know what? Do you want to actually have the ceremony and have the party? I actually had a conversation with her, you know, and she was like, absolutely not. Next year, February, I want to get married. I want my whole family to be there. So I'm not, my dad will not even allow it. He's a pastor, you know, he's not going to allow it. So people still want to get married. People still want to have their party. People still want to wait. Selected few would have Zoom. And again, Dean, it depends on how long this goes on. Obviously, if this stretches on to the end of the year, people are going to be like, okay, it's taking a piece right now, you know. I just want to get married. I just want to do the Zoom. So yeah, a couple of factors.
Thank you so much, Wura. Okay, now my brother, Folly Fresh. I'm going to come back to you, bro. Yes, I've got a question for you, because so someone in the comment asked, how much do you charge to MC for a Zoom party or wedding? I think my team said that you have already answered it, but I haven't seen that. I just think it would be good for you to talk about that anyway. Like how do you go from obviously having your rates for a physical event that goes into it? We've had a few discussions about MCs and what they should or shouldn't charge in the past, but how do you now you know, adapt to going online and then trying to keep some kind of respectable rate for yourself, but making it reasonable enough for the client to think it's good value?
I feel like in terms of, so before I kind of go into details of like for myself, because it's not been straightforward, because obviously this is, like you said, this is something new, but I feel like one thing in business is that you should always focus on value, and that's either enabling the client to see your value or understand your value, or the fact that they already understand and know your value already. I feel like if you're saying, oh, I'm gonna charge this because of this, charge this because of that, and charge this because of this, it can make you question your value. It can make you question so many different things. And obviously at the moment, I think it's a 50-50 split in that you have like a bargaining power, and also the client has bargaining power, because they're like, okay, well, you're not going to be there physically, whatever. But the ultimate thing is they want an experience, and that's why I don't say to people, oh, I'm an MC. I always say I'm an MC who creates a vibe, who creates an atmosphere, who creates an experience, and whether that's digital, whether that's in the flesh, face to face, you know, it's just enabling people to understand that whether or not you're going to actually see me like with your own physical eyes rather than through a screen, or through a screen, the quality that you're going to get is not going to be compromised. You know, I'll still dress up and keep it quite formal and whatever, and obviously my setting will be, I'll just kind of provide things on a basis where you still kind of see that, okay, look, you know, this is someone who doesn't compromise on their quality. Now going back to your question in terms of how have I gone about charging, to be honest with you, it's been hard, because at the end of the day, there is a major difference. That's one thing we cannot deny. There's a major difference in terms of engaging people online and engaging people face to face. The difference is the fact that, you know, the experience that you're providing is slightly different, because, you know, the energy that you get from doing a live event is always going to differ from the energy that you get from doing an event online, where you only had limited control, whereas with a live event you have control in terms of how you can steer things. And here, although you do, like, people could be doing other things, so it's not necessarily that you're not kind of giving your 100%, but it's just that the kind of structure, the nature of it is not really the same. People could have their camera off and literally just be typing messages every now and again and whatnot, you know. And also let's be honest, a lot of the one of the major differences also is going to be numbers as well. So for me, I've just kind of gone on things based on you know, like looking at the time commitment. So depending on the time of event it is, whether it's a birthday, whether it's what do you call it, whether it's a wedding or whatever, and then just kind of, yeah, basically just having a structure and saying, okay, if it's 3 hours you want, I can give you 3 hours. If it's 1 hour you want, I can give you 1 hour. And so, yeah, it's been a bit challenging, but then just kind of going based on time, going based on exactly what they want in terms of like games. Whatever. Dean, stop laughing. Whether it's like games or interaction or whatever. And then obviously, I've kind of built a package based around that. And so obviously, hopefully, it's been going well because I've had a few. So I guess people understand that and are winning. But it's not easy. It's not easy. I think there's different level of expectations. So, you know, yeah.
Thank you very much. Now that was great. That answer was great. Thank you very much. All right. So next, Mr. Adebayo. You know, you're someone that I've always known to be very resilient, very, you know, you're very much a go-getter. Yeah, you're what they call the kind of self-starting entrepreneur. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and you know, a lot of people have now adjusted to what is now our new reality. But what do you say to the people that are struggling right now, or that they were doing well before, but now this is just lasting too long? Their businesses is suffering. They're not making any money. Like, how can you? First of all, how do you motivate yourself? Like, why do you do what you do? Is it for your children? Is it for your family? Is it for yourself? Self gratification? And how? What do you say to people that are feeling very demotivated right now?
I would say that is not a solution. If you start worrying, like, it's not going to help anything. You need to speak to yourself, take yourself out of yourself, look at yourself, ask yourself a question. What are you going to do? Are you doing well now? What can I do? By the time you start worrying about situation, worrying about the whole situation that is going on right now, you're not going to move on. And that will affect your family and your children. You will be taking anger out of your home. You don't want that to happen to you. You need to stay healthy. For me, I would say this is the best time of my life, staying at home with my family, because we're not going to see this opportunity again. I grew up in a family that my dad goes to work, my mom goes to work. We never get stuck together. But now we have the opportunity of getting stuck with the little ones. Now you will understand them more. Now you know what your wife likes. Now you know what she doesn't like, because you never know. So you start from your home before you can put everything, the strength to your business. If your home is not settled, your way is not going to be settled. So I managed to figure all those things out. Like, I still can't operate the oven, but it's okay. And saying that, this whole situation have really helped me to even focus on myself. I've really humbled myself now, and for that to have happened to me, that means it happens to every one of us. So I've literally reached out to a lot of people that I've been struggling to speak to, because remember, everyone now, they're humble, they're in their home. Money doesn't mean anything right now. You have private jets, you cannot fly. We are all mates right now. So I've literally used the opportunity to start sending messages to people that I cannot talk to on a normal day, because I know you're gonna be at home, you're not busy. Nobody can say, I'm busy. Now, sorry, mate, you're just chilling on your sofa watching Netflix. So, and people are really bored, they wanna talk. When you're bored, you wanna talk, isn't it? If you have someone attention. So I've literally used this opportunity to grow my network, and it's just fantastic. And
yeah.
I advise everybody out there, you need to stay strong. You need to focus more on your family. Trust me, that will really help you. And you need to come up with forget about whatever you're doing now. You need to make money, isn't it? You need to feed the family. You need to think about out of the box. You need to think about how to make money. And what I've done is I know my business name is Godson Studio. I've literally start another studio called Godson Mobile Studio. So in this case, I could go to anybody's house if the whole pandemic still continue and tell you, we got marks, you know, have ask some few questions, send you souvenir, fill in, then I go. I know I'm safe and I'm keeping family safe as well. And if this Zoom wedding, if it's the way forward, I'll tell you what, we're all struggling now. It's not going to be the case later. We are going to adjust to it and we're still going to make money. Yes. We cannot be, because life is changing. We have to evolve with life itself.
Yes,
if
exactly.
We use lemon, we make lemonade out of it.
Yes, I love that. And quickly, when we spoke before this, you said that you've got a fashion brand that you're launching. You probably, in all my years, my like 30-something years on this earth, you're probably one of the most fashionable photographers that I've seen. Like, you come dressed to the nines and you're very comfortable in front of the camera as well as behind it. So what inspired your brand, and what is the brand? When are you going to be launching it?
I was supposed to launch it's called GS London. So some people mistake it for Gemstone London, but for me, I know it's Godson London. And I was inspired because I meet a lot of people at weddings, and the way I dress it, they think maybe I'm one big fashion blogger, but I'm not. That was the first question my missus asked me before I started doing photography. She asked me, what's gonna make you different from other photographers? I said, I'm not gonna change my ways or start wearing, I'm still gonna be me. Because the way you dress is the way people will address you. And remember, we're no one, we want to be someone. So I want to attract quality. I want to attract rich clients. By the time I start dressing anyhow and one client is poking me from back, take my picture. But before you poke me now, you have to give me respect. That means I'm winning.
Yes, I love it. Okay.
So, don't worry, I'm going to send you one of my my stuff.
Yeah, please send us your information about your brand. I love that. People have to respect you when they approach you. I love that, Godson. Thank you. Listen, we are within the last 10 minutes of this chat already. It has gone so quickly. I think I'm gonna go around to every speaker right now just for your last roundup. I'm actually gonna start with Folly Fresh. And I want to start with you as well. And if possible, if you just keep this as succinct as you can. But I want to ask you quickly, what is, we keep talking about especially in the African Caribbean events community, we keep talking about this, everyone coming together. We've come together a few times now. A few of our colleagues and vendors in this industry have lost family members, lost parents, etc. And we've all donated towards, a burial cost, funeral costs, etc. Is this the kind of coming together that we needed? And what is the unity gonna be once we're outside again, once we can go out again?
Off the back of what Godson said, I feel like this experience has been humbling, and it's made us all remember that irrespective of our achievements, irrespective of our financial position, irrespective of our economic status, irrespective of our academic background, we are all one and the same in the sense we're all human beings. We're all going to be impacted by something like this, whether, it means, you're a millionaire and you don't get to a billionaire, or whether it means your health, whether it means, you didn't get to spend time with your family, now you get time with your family. I mean, this has just exposed, hopefully to most of us, what is pretty much most important to us. And also reminded us that you might be either an Instagram celebrity or celebrity in real life or whatever, but that doesn't mean nothing, because at the end of the day, your life could be gone in a twinkle of an eye. So I hope it just did what this season has done is change the perspective from us thinking that we're invincible, to us thinking that we're, immortal, whatever, because that's what this situation has done. What was part B of your question?
and what do you think how can we, what is going to be the unity in the industry just going forward, and how can we keep sticking together? Like, what can we do?
Human nature is that hopefully once we experience something, either trauma or loss or grief or whatever, or something that causes solidarity, hopefully it causes that solidarity to stay. But I also have seen, unfortunately, that sometimes things can be short-lived and things happen and then everyone goes back to their old ways, and it will take something drastic again to happen until we forge that sense of solidarity or community again. So hopefully going forward, like, we all just check in with each other every now and again, because I've been guilty. There's some people, sometimes I've said it to you, you've come to mind before, and rather than calling you, life just got busy and whatever, and which is fair, but at the same time, you would do whatever you consider is priority for you and to you, isn't it? So I feel like hopefully this will cause us to just check in on each other and just kind of just be supportive of one another, of our businesses, of our personal lives. As you know, even with Mary just saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, I'll give you a shout out." Everyone's laughing about it and putting thumbs up or whatever, but it actually means a lot. Like, just the fact that, you know, I know somebody that has known I'm in the industry, but maybe didn't really know what I'm doing, and it's like, okay, right, now I've got you in my mind. So hopefully we can just be very supportive of each other in business and personally, and and just really care, just genuinely really care, and sometimes forget about ourselves in terms of, like, you know, the Instagram, the social media, even the business side of things sometimes, and just really just forge lasting relationships with one another. And hopefully that's how things are going to continue for the foreseeable future. I personally am aiming to do that, and I hope everyone else does as well.
Yes, thank you. Here, Folly. Thank you very much for that answer. I must say, I can see Arita Osa is on the call. I must give a quick shout out to her, because she put together an amazing initiative over the last week or two for a vendor that actually lost his mother. I won't say who it is, just in case he doesn't want everyone to know. But you know, Rita and Co ended up helping to raise over £4,000 for this person, to help with all of the obviously unexpected costs. So it's really amazing. I can see one or two people already starting to clap, so I think we should clap for that right there. You know, that was really really great. And this is the unity and community that I think a lot of us wanted to see for a long time. So next to Mary, this is your final word. What I just wanted to ask you is, obviously I do know that you found a lot of peace and kind of calmness during this time. Do you think there is going to be a way that, you know, we can continue to have this kind of relaxation and calmness going forward once the phones start ringing and the business starts coming in again? Because obviously, you know, you got your first event on Monday. You said you're going to start opening up the warehouse again. You're already loading the van, blah, blah, blah. So you're getting back into that routine of being busy. So how do you see it going forward, of having the balance of business, but having that kind of calmness and connection, like what Folly first was just speaking about?
Wow, I think that's a struggle and a juggle that a lot of people face, trying to balance home, work, wellness, fitness, like all these different things that you've got to do, you know, making money, staying with the family. And this time has really given me time to just breathe and be with my family, which I've not been able to do so much during the summer when it's really hectic and crazy with weddings. So it's a $1 million question. How do you become more balanced? We've just got to really try to work on the strategies and putting people in place to be able to take yourself out of that. And I know Efmina doesn't do weddings on a Sunday, so she literally takes out Sundays to do family time. So it'll be something like that needs to be created. You need to sort of section off time to do other things other than work. So I guess that's something that I need to do as well. I need to think about how I can organize the company that it is more alone and running by itself. And you know, this time is spent doing that. I have been spending time working out how that can happen more and more. So yeah, it's just strategy and operations, working out the operations.
Yes, we all need to put that plan in place. Thank you very much, Mary. And now to you, Wura. You're obviously a new mother. You're busy both online and offline. What's your final words right now, in terms of this conference here, and also how are you trying to manage the juggle and the balance both now and going forward?
First of all, Dean, this has been amazing. This is an excellent platform. I've already connected with a couple of people just being on here. Just to answer your question, first of all, can you start with the first one? I have the second one in my mind. The first part of the question.
So the first part of the question is how we balance the kind of busyness with business and life going forward, family.
Okay. I think Mary touched a lot of the points that I'm going to make, but I just wanted to give a little backstory to how important what you just said is. About 2 years ago, so I'm a corporate events planner, and I'll be really quick. And obviously, I do events around the world, and I do weddings, and I do blogging, and everything is very demanding. Weddings are demanding, blogging is demanding this. So in 2018, when I was doing an event in Rio, I fell sick. And I thought, oh, it's just a normal sickness, Came home into the UK, and for, kid you not, in 2 months, I was down. I had to get off work. I couldn't do anything. I was dizzy. And that made me realize that, you know what, especially what Folly was saying, life is so important. I won't lie to you, I kept going. But I think, again, this year, I had a baby in January. Before lockdown, I already came back to YouTube, back to Instagram when he was 2 months. And then lockdown happened. And then after lockdown, like I think Folly said, or someone said, I was sick again for a whole week, So I think I've just gone back to processes. The first thing I've done, especially when my husband rams into me a lot, saying, you know what, you're at a point where you need to let go. You need to let go. You have all these people helping you. So like what Mary said, I pumped into processes. I have so many templates, that can help my team, and I don't have to be the forefront person. I have a lot of questionnaires that I can get loads of information from my clients, that I don't have to go on calls every single time. And a good resource, you guys, on the internet is there's so much templates out there. There's so much resources out there. There's so many live sessions. There's everything. I jump on as many as I can to help me. Anything that can make my business more efficient and make me step back a bit, I put my money into. So that's what I've been doing. I recently got a business coach as well. And she's been helping me. I got her before lockdown. So we've been on calls bi-weekly, looking at my 2020 goals, looking at more efficient processes. So yeah, for balance, I would say work on your processes. Try and step back. Someone here, Nigel, I think is on this. Nigel, I worked with Nigel last year, and what Nigel said, it still sticks with me. He said, you need to have someone who has everything in your brain, like a what do you call it? A psychic, like a number 2 that has everything in your brain. Because if anything will happen to you, Dean or Mary or, Ade or Folly, if anything, God forbid, were to happen to you in a hospital, you need to have someone who, can, answer questions for your business, can, still have rapport with your clients, can obviously help you on the day. So I think invest in your processes, invest in having that second person, if you guys do, it's so important, especially as being sole traders and one man business, as we call it. It's so hard, but try and let go. That when you have those things, you start to have a little bit of balance, and you can make decisions like, okay, Friday, I'm not going to work. Sunday, I'm not going to work. I'm going to take this holiday off. I'm going to take this off. So you can do that when you have processes in place that your company can run, when you have someone who's like the second in command, who can take your business if you want to, have that balance, have that me time. So I think those are the 2 things for me. Invest in processes so your company can run without you. Because if your company is dependent on you for as long as you can, you will definitely burn out if you don't. And again, second in command, second man, have that, invest in that person as well.
Thank you so much, Wura. Thank you. We can't wait to see your next video. Please remind everyone about your channel.
I will.
Is it? Is your YouTube channel?
It's Wura Manola on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I've seen you get lots of views, lots of subscribers. You're doing really well, so keep it up.
Thank you.
Work. And last but not least, Mr. Adebayo Yusuf from Godson Studio. What are your final words for everyone today? And a little question as well. Over the years, we see a lot of people you know, complaining. You know, they're in the events industry, they're doing weddings, but they're not happy. They're like complaining about customers, they complaining about the amount of work they have to do, etc., etc. Do you feel like this time is going to make people more grateful for their businesses going forward, and you think they're going to complain a lot less as well? And just it's whatever you want to say to everyone finishing off.
I would say, go to work, don't go to work. Don't stay at home. I'm joking. Okay.
Just in case you guys didn't know, that was like a little imitation of Boris Johnson's speech Sunday before last.
Okay. Sorry, repeat the question again. Sorry about that.
So the question is, do you think people are going to appreciate their businesses and their clients a lot more going forward? And just any final message you want to leave the people with today?
And the whole situation, like I said, everybody, we are all gonna humble ourselves now. Even the difficult bride or difficult groom, whatever you tell them now, because they've seen that we lost a lot of people during this period. May their soul rest in perfect peace. And I know this time when we're back, it's gonna be good. We have to keep the energy going, positive mental attitude. We're not gonna give up. We have to keep fighting this. You know, we all got family. We all in this together. We have to win. We have to be a winner. Whatever that happens, we are all in this. Like, you can phone me anytime, guys. You can call me. And I've tried my best to reach out to, you know, friends and family and people that I haven't spoken with. And guys, we all need ourselves. If anything out there that you know that is available for Godson Studio to come and do, please give me a shout. I'll come and shoot. So.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you. Literally, Ade is very available to speak to on the phone if you do need to get through to him. I think we just put all of the speakers' social media handles in the chat again. If not, we'll just do it one more time in a second. I want to say thank you very much to all of you, our panelists today. It has really been a great session. Thank you especially to Folly, because I haven't laughed so much on this platform before. And just thanks everyone for just being you. You know, it was really good. It was really great, really uplifting, educational, and inspiring. You can also follow the Elite Vendors Network on Instagram, and you can also watch our YouTube channel for previous sessions. This session will be on YouTube probably in about 2 weeks. And I just want to say thank you to my colleagues as well, Joseph and Laura from the EVN leadership team. And we'll be back next Sunday at 2 p.m. with 4 new panelists, and we will be continuing the conversation live as it happens. So thank you, everyone. This always makes me sad leaving at this point, but you know, it was a really good session, and we'll see you guys next Saturday. Thank you. And everyone, please connect with each other in the chat before you go if there's anyone you want to speak to as well. All right. Thank you very much. See you next week. Goodbye from the Elite Vendors Network. Bye-bye.